I appreciate what Roman said because I feel like he's saying what most people want to say about the age change.
Welcome back to the Sideline Spill. This is Monica.
And Sabrina.
And Heidi.
And today we're going to talk about something that feels a little bit like a taboo topic lately, and that's the age change and the tryouts that are going on right now.
So in the last year, we have found out about the soccer age change.
So U.S. Soccer made a decision to change the age groupings for the teams going forward. So right now, our boys who are playing in U13, they are grouped by birth year. So 2013 is their birth year, and any kid who was born in 2013 and tried out and made that team are grouped together. But with the age change, what will happen is that any kids who were born between August 1st through July 31st of the next year will be grouped as one. My understanding is that it's in part to align kids with their grades, which, doesn't really work for us in this area when the school's cutoff is September 1st. But, and also developmentally, there's supposed to be some benefits. Mm-hmm. What else have you guys heard about it?
That it sucks.
No, I think that from what I've heard is that this happened before. And so in my opinion, I think someone told me it was about 8 or 9 years ago, maybe somewhere in there, that they had it this way before. Then they went to birth year. Then they went back to it. To me, it just feels like a lot of flip-flopping and whiplash for a lot of families and boys and girls that are playing soccer. Mm-hmm. And I don't know how many times you need to do something and change it back to something else, but I think it's kind of ridiculous.
Mm-hmm. I can kind of understand the logic of trying to group kids by their school year, but I just think it's never going to be a perfect solution for anyone because there's always going to be outliers, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, in our area, the school cutoff September 1st, so, you're going to have kids like my son who was born in late August who are actually going to be separated from their grade year.
Mm-hmm. And it's different for my son because we held him a year. Mm-hmm. So it would align, but all of his friends are actually older.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It doesn't make too much sense either way that you look at it.
So how do you guys feel about the age change? I mean, we know what it is, but how does it make you guys feel thinking about it?
I think for me, it's more so of how it makes my son feel. Yeah, it sucks for me because I will be losing our friend time, possibly. I don't know yet. After tryouts, we don't know exactly what's going to happen, but it's more so for Roman, he's frustrated and confused about it, and he is trying to be as positive, I think, as he can, but he just really wants the team to stay the same. Mm-hmm. And I think they've been together for so long now. I just feel like it's unfair for them to make this change after so many years of them all being together.
I could agree with that 100%. I think for incoming soccer players, it doesn't matter. They're trying out for the first time.
Right.
They don't have a team built, but then you have someone like our boys' teams that they've been together for 3 years. They've built something. The parents have built something. It's a community in itself. We've been kind of bragging about it on the podcast a little bit about how much we love our team and our community. And I truly believe this, not just for our team, but for our team and up, it causes a lot of chaos. No pun intended. It's chaotic for all the kids. And then maybe they potentially don't get to stay on the team that they wanted to stay on because they do have to drop age peer. And chances are, the boys or the girls could potentially feel not chosen.
Right.
And what kid doesn't want to feel chosen? But ultimately, it doesn't I feel like that is something that's probably gonna happen, either which way, whether it's not being chosen by the same team or the team that you wanted to or a different team or whatever. And so I just feel like in the grand scheme of things, this is just very messy. It feels icky. There's so much unknown with it. And I know that once it's said and done, it's said and done, and we can move on and get to a new norm, but change is hard. And so my feelings are that if people are just coming into soccer, it's not going to be a huge deal. But for the teams that have been together for a long time, it's going to be a huge, huge change. So it just doesn't feel great as a parent looking in on it. And I don't want CJ to also feel a certain way.
Yeah, it really seems like the path of least resistance would have been to apply it for certain age groups forward. Right. But I also know not every club starts like, at U10, for example, like our club does.
Yeah.
Right. Some clubs start at U8, or younger. So I don't know. I don't know if there's a perfect answer, but it's obviously impactful. And it kind of feels like I understand the logic behind getting people aligned with their grades, but what difference does it make to having a birth year, right? As long as it's a consistent, you're playing against like 2013 against 2013 versus, August of 2013 through whatever, right? Why should it make a difference as long as you're comparing the same age groups against the same age groups?
And I've heard from quite a few people that have experience, and most times I've heard that they recommend having children age pure is what I'm trying to say. And I know that there are some.
What does age pure mean, though, really?
Yeah, and I'm just going off of what U.S. Soccer is saying right now of age pure and staying, I guess I would say, talking to a trainer, he had said going down, which we don't want to say that. Everyone keeps saying age pure. So typically it's basically bumping down, but it's considered age pure. It's not like you're bumping down a level. It's just going age pure for what they're saying now.
I see what you're saying. So
you know what I'm saying?
if there's a kid like Xander and CJ, actually, and Roman too, right, who's going to be affected by the age change, and the team that they're playing on right now is essentially going to require them to play up. Playing age pure would be playing in the correct age group.
Which
for
is
their birth.
down, technically.
Right.
Yes. And I know that sounds like a lot of people are like, don't say that. It's not playing down. It's age pure. But it is. Yeah. So I've heard from several people that say it's good to be age pure. It actually gives them an extra year of soccer, too. They don't age out.
Right.
But who knows if things change again.
Right.
It just feels messy.
Yeah. What do you think, Heidi? You're kind of quiet over there.
I know. I'm just trying to wrap my head around it all. I think the other thing that has been a struggle for me is how political it all has felt. More than it being like developmental for our kids, it's become like who likes who the best, and instead of like effort and growth, it sometimes turns into favoritism, and who like coaches have their favorites, and that happens sometimes, right? Like, and then also with like these new coaches coming in, they already have,
a team.
So how do they like entangle?
Yeah, but really, like, we also already have a team. Like, everyone's kind of in the same boat.
Yeah.
It feels different because, like, in our case, there's now going to be a third team in our age group, potentially, right?
There's enough boys for it. Doesn't mean that.
That's true.
There will actually be a third team.
Kind of assuming, and I don't know that for sure yet, but we'll see.
Yeah, I
complicates things.
It definitely does. And, having teams, like you said, Heidi, that are, I know ours is built too, because but different teams coming in and they already have like who they want on their team. But if you look at what, let's say, other clubs do, maybe in Sacramento, they probably all try out in a pool and they list them from top to bottom. And, X amount go on the first team, X amount go on the second, whatever, working down the list. That's probably how it usually is. I can't say that is for sure every time.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I would think they'd have to take into account positions and whatnot too, right? Like you can't have, if all your top players are forwards, right? You're going to have to take that into account. And I don't know. Honestly, I'd be curious to know how people in
I was
Sacramento
just going to say, I'm
it.
not a coach, though. I'm saying that's okay. So I was a cheerleader for 10 years, okay? And when you tried out, you were listed from who had scored the highest points to who had the bottom.
Right.
And if there was a very big gap, let's say a 15-point gap, those people did not make the squad.
Yeah.
So I'm going off of what I can remember as a cheerleader. I'm not saying that that's how soccer is, because I'm not a soccer coach. I don't know how they rate players.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's a point system. I don't know if it's like, oh, these are all great forwards, these are all great mid. I don't know.
Right.
So it's just me going on a whim of like, who knows? But this is how cheer was,
Well, I feel like Coach Athena said that they do rank them when they make their rosters.
Okay.
Right. So I don't know exactly how that works, but I also don't know how like big clubs do it. That'd be really interesting. I don't know if there's anyone listening who's in a big club. That would be just cool background information
like
to
how
share.
they try out. I've heard rumors that tryouts in certain areas are you drop your kid off in the front, they go inside, and no one gets to watch.
Yeah,
Your kid goes in.
Sometimes I think that would be wise.
Might be better.
Honestly, I agree.
Yeah, and then they just let you know later.
Yeah.
So I don't know. If you are listening and you're a part of a big club, let us know how you guys do tryouts.
Yeah. So just talking developmentally, though, one thing that I did think was kind of interesting, both talking to Xander's trainer and Josh, my husband, was just thinking about it from the developmental standpoint. Like, regardless of the reasons for the age change, whether or not they make sense, it is, I think important to take into account where your child is developmentally. And, at first I was like, ugh, I really hate the idea of, my son dropping to H pure, I guess, as we would call it. But it's also been explained to me that for them developmentally, what's best is that they get the most playing time they can. And if they can't get playing time on the team that they're on, then it may be better for them to move to a different team, whether that's within the, one of the other teams that are within our age grouping or in a younger team that could have some benefits for them long run.
Yeah.
Yeah, he talked to me about that the other day, and that was a great way to look at it. And I think that would be really helpful for other boys to hear that perspective.
Yeah, he talked to me about how, so for example, Xander is right on the cusp of the age cutoff, right? So his birthday is August 26th. And that would mean that if he went age pure, he would be the oldest on the team, right? Which means he's probably a little bigger, a little stronger, a little more developed physically than the other kids. Versus if he stays in, his current team, right, which is moving to the, 12, 13?
Yeah.
2012, 2013 mix, then he's going to be the youngest. And they're going to play kids who are a whole 6 months older than they're playing right now, which means they're just going to be bigger and stronger and more physically developed than right now.
Right.
Versus he's in the middle right now, right? So, it's hard to argue that. I understand that.
Well, and you have to also think, too, he has a whole year on the boys that he would be age pure with, too. So not just that he'd be the oldest. He also has done competitive for a whole year before those boys have. So he does have the
Yeah, that's true. I
the
didn't think
skill
about
a
that.
little bit, and
yeah.
and he has already been full field along with CJ and Roman and whoever else. It has to go, possibly will have to go age pure. So they have a whole year as well,
Right.
which is also a good perspective to have.
They'll be a little more conditioned
Experience.
We
than
have seen what 6 months or a year difference can look like when we've played up. And it's hard. It's hard for our boys sometimes to keep up. So I think that was a really good perspective that Josh brought up. And like I said, I really think some of the boys, if they haven't already, would benefit to hearing that.
yeah.
From your guys' perspective, do you feel like the adults are a little bit more attached to the team compared to your boys? Or do you feel like they're more attached? Or even just during this process, what have you recognized in that aspect?
That's a really good question. Being transparent, I probably feel like I am more attached to the team than Roman is. Not that he doesn't love his team, but I think that he just wants to play soccer, whatever that looks like, right? Because of the friendships he's made with these boys already and the time that he's spent with them, it's not like they're going to go anywhere. So I don't really worry about those friends. I don't think he worries about those friendships as much as I do. That's what I'm trying to say. So yeah.
That's a tough one. Because when I talked to Xander about different possibilities, because, you know, in his mind, obviously his preference would be to stay with his current team, right? That's going to be all of their preference, I would think. But I'm also trying to talk to him about the possibilities that he could end up on a different team and what that could look like. And, you know, his responses are that he wants to be on the team where his friends are, right? So it's less about the team. It's more about the individuals that he cares about. People like CJ, Roman, Patty, Maverick, all those boys. Really all of those boys on that red team. I think that he would easily be able to overcome a team change. It would be hard.
Yeah.
Right? And I think in some ways it would be harder for me as a parent than it would be for him, really. I think it'll be hard for him at first. And then in the long run, as long as he's got a couple of friends that he can, you know, relate to, and then he'll make more friends, I think he'll be fine. Right? I just think
I agree.
I just think I'm attached, and I don't like the idea because we have like a whole soccer family, and
I think our boys are way more resilient than we give them credit for.
yeah, I think that's very true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have to agree.
But
in both.
I would say also it's not all about the social aspect, at least not for Xander anyway, right? Because I have talked to him about, you know, other options, like, for example, like, hey, let's say you didn't make that team. Would you rather play on a different comp team, or would you rather go back to rec? And he's like, absolutely not. He does not want to go back to rec because he knows that he wants to play on the most competitive team that will have him.
Right.
Right. And, you know, there's a lot of factors that go into that. And I think obviously we'll help guide them through that, like as far as like coaches and other things, right, that'll come into the picture. But
I think that's the hardest part about it all is I've said this a couple times that I wanted to give CJ the reins and let him make a choice for himself, because I do believe that he could make a great choice. And the more I talk with him, I don't know if I'll have to step in or not. And it's been really difficult because, I'm super attached to the team and to the moms and the dads and the community we have, you know. And so is he. He's all about his friends, but not just that. Like you said, the social aspect, but also, you know, there's some days where he's like coming to me and he's like, hey, look at this. And he's showing me something new with soccer. And he's like, Luke taught me that. Or, hey, look what Patrick taught me. Patty is what we call him. But look what Patty taught me. And he's sitting there like juggles like 50 times, you know, and it's like, he taught me the right way, blah, blah, blah. And like, you know, so-and-so did this. And it's like, not only does he care about the boys and his friendships, but they're also teaching him. And he is gaining a lot, whether it's at our house for a sleepover or a side thing at practice. Like, he's always learning something new from one of the boys. And I think that's special, you know,
Yeah.
to have those boys teaching him something that he may have not known the day before.
Yeah.
So all of it.
I feel like it's a challenge because you want the kids to be surrounded by exceptional players, right? You want them to play with a high-level team because you can grow when you're surrounded by great players, right? But also, there is a little bit of a balance in finding maybe the right team, right? And that's going to be best for them developmentally, right? So
Well, and that's what,
that's what
totally
I think
get
Josh
that.
was trying to say, right?
Yeah.
When he's explaining
Find the
that to me.
balance.
But, you know, I don't know. Now I feel like I'm
Well, and
rambling.
that's what CJ said too. He's like, you know, I would like to stay with the same team because I want to challenge myself. That's exactly what he said. And that didn't come from me or his dad. So obviously things are running through his mind.
Right.
And I love that. Like, I want him to be challenged too, but also I do want what's truly the best for him and what's going to help him excel and so forth. Yeah. So just piggybacking off of that, I think that this might be different for you compared to your boys, but is the development, the friendships, confidence, or the winning most important for your child's experience for soccer? I know we kind of touched on this a little bit in everything that we've said, but what is most important to you guys, and what do you think is most important to the boys?
Oh, gosh.
That's hard.
I know.
That's the $1 million question.
So
How about all of
think
it?
about
a little
the
bit of everything.
boys and their age right now, what do they want? They want to win.
Win.
So I think for them, winning.
Winning in friendships
And
is kind of like
right.
there.
Yeah.
And then after CJ said the whole like challenge, he wants to be challenged. I'm like, he obviously is thinking of development in his own way.
Right.
I would say Xander's similar in that way. I think, you know, we had an unusual season this last season where we did not win as much as they're used to. And I think he handled that fine. I don't think he felt like we have to win every game for him to feel fulfilled on that team necessarily, right? But I do think that if he was on a team that, you know, was consistently playing at that level, that could be hard, right? So I don't know. I don't know.
I do think about the confidence aspect of that because I've, you know, talked to you guys before and, you know, Coach Athena and stuff, just about going from having a confident boy to a young man that was kind of not so much. And then it's like this ebb and flow thing of like losing confidence and gaining it. And that's something I truly want him to get back, which I feel like everyone always tells me, they're like, he's such a confident, you know, he's so small, but he's like walking 10 feet tall and he's so confident in this and that. But, and I don't know, maybe it's part of growing up and maturity, and maybe they kind of change in that aspect. And it's not so much fun and wreck and scoring whenever, you know, and it does change. So I don't know, but that is a hope of mine for him.
I kind of feel like you listed 4 things, right? Confidence, friendship, what was it? Development and winning. And like for us as parents, probably confidence and development would be the top, and probably for him as a player, it'd be winning and friendships.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You know, so
Exactly. Yeah.
that's where I think we have to help guide them a little bit.
I know, and it's hard because I told myself when this time came, I would be like, nope, I'm going to let CJ make the choice. And now the more I talk about it, the more I think about it, the more I watch, because we got to watch tryouts all 4 days. And I'm like, whew, I have to let him choose. But I want to guide, but I also want him to feel confident in himself, because I told him tonight, I said, I want you happy. I want you truly happy to your core. And if that means this team and you say that, then yes, I support you. But also some of the unknowns, we don't know what a new team would feel like or how they would mesh together, and it could be great.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, look at all of us first coming together. We didn't talk at all during our first parent meeting.
Yeah.
And now we're 3 years later, and I mean, us 3, we've got a podcast, but we do Thanksgiving with the whole team.
Yeah.
all the parents, the family,
last
the
3
siblings,
years.
the last 3 years. You know, there's so much that we've built. But at what point is it just about soccer and like the way the process is supposed to go?
Yeah.
I
don't
mean,
know.
let's be real. Like, unfortunately, when it comes down to it, from the club perspective and the comp perspective, it has to come down to the soccer.
Oh, 100%.
They
I think it was
They do
rhetorical.
have to.
I think I was being rhetorical.
Yeah.
Like in the sense of like me just tapping into myself saying like, it's about soccer.
Yeah.
Like we will have friendships outside of this. We
Yeah.
can do things. We can have friendsgivings. You know, and
We better, because
yeah.
if these kids aren't on the same team, we're not going to the Thanksgiving,
what-
and I'm not going to be happy about that.
Me either.
And what did we talk about in our last podcast about being intentional with
That's
our
true.
time? It's just something
Yes.
we are going to have to be intentional with.
But we will. I don't have any doubt in my
Yeah.
mind. It's just the worries, the changes, the things
Yeah.
that we all think about in general.
Change is hard for everybody. And especially our boys, I think. But again, I shouldn't say that because I just said how resilient they are. So I think change is harder for us, personally.
I do think that they're more resilient than maybe we give them credit for sometimes.
In one of our podcasts, we were talking about not fixing. And I've been reminding myself that all week. I don't know about you girls, but I was just thinking in my head on the way here. And I was like, well, maybe if I know he's going to be cut, maybe I'll tell him to choose a different team so he doesn't feel like he's not being chosen and that he's not being cut. But then the other side of my brain is like, no, let it happen. This is life. Okay.
Yeah.
I was cut my first year trying out for cheerleading and I was an alternate, the first alternate. So if someone got hurt, I got to cheer. And it didn't happen. And I was sad. But I can't tell you how long I was sad for because I mean, I just went about my life.
Yeah.
You know, I was sixth grade.
Right.
The boys' age, actually.
Right. Yeah.
And so, like, half of my brain is like, Mom, buffer this and stop it for him and just tell him to choose a different team because you know he's going to get cut. Which I don't. I'm just saying that out loud. Like, if I know, I'll tell him to just choose something else. And then I'm like, on the other side, no, just let it happen. Like, it's got to happen the way it's supposed to happen.
Yeah.
So I've just been reminding myself all week to not try to stop it, buffer it, fix it, all the things. I don't know. Is that going through your guys' head or is it just me?
I think that always goes through my head for multiple reasons, not just for tryouts. But I mean, look at this week. Roman decided to hurt himself again. You know, here we are, and he had to miss some of tryouts. And, you know, as much as we know, or I know that he is a good player, there's other good players. There's always going to be somebody better than you. And, you know, as confident as I am in him, there's still always that worry and what's going to happen.
Yeah.
What change is going to happen? What, you know, I don't know. I think for me, I just let it happen and then be there for them when they need us to be.
Yeah.
I didn't really think about trying to like fix it necessarily. I mean, it is going to be what it's going to be. And we've had a lot of conversations about, you know, just consistency and, you know, just effort and stuff like that. And, you know, this is how it goes sometimes. I mean, he's been cut before in the past, you know, or placed on B teams, you know, for school and whatnot. And, you know, I remember last fall he made the silver team. No, I'm sorry. Yeah, the silver team. There's a silver and a royal team. The silver team is like the B team for the school team. And the royal is like the A team. I hate to call it that, but that's what it is. Let's just be real. They put more of the younger kids on the silver team. They usually have a couple of older kids. So Xander's in 7th grade, right? So, you know, he could really go either way. And he didn't make the royal team. Several of his friends did. He ended up playing on the silver team, and then he continued to practice and play through the season. And the coach came up to us and said, hey, Like if he had played like this during tryouts, he'd be on the royal team. I'm like, well, that's great to hear, but also like, you know, that's a consequence of not showing up when you need to, right? So they have to learn that sometimes, right?
No,
and you
they
know,
totally
I do
do.
think like sometimes they just go through phases or growth spurts and whatnot that can have impacts that are difficult for them to just
For sure.
like push through, right? Like, but you know, I don't think like, for example, right now, like whether or not he makes the red team, which is like our A team, I don't think he's got a lack of effort. He's always trying. He shows up all of the time. He does extra training outside of practice.
Yeah.
He plays at school. Like he's touching the ball a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just is where he is right now developmentally. So
Yeah, I was going to say, I feel like a lot of the boys are developing at different rates.
yeah, I just
You
think
know,
that's what
and
it is.
growing. And like my son said, what did CJ say? He said something about puberty. And Mom, puberty is just hard. And we're all dealing with it. So how much longer is this going to be? I'm like, I'm not quite sure.
Yeah.
But he's really proud of that mustache that he has grown.
Yeah. I've seen that mustache.
But I think more or less I said what I said just now because I come from a long line of trying to control things and prevent things from happening, and that's what we're actively working on. We've talked about this in a few episodes of not trying to control it, let it be, and it's just what's going on in my mind. Not that I was going to do that by all means, but my brain is just all over the place. Of course you don't want your kid to be hurt or
exactly.
be somewhere different than his friends that he's built relationships with.
Yeah. I think that's the hard part is just knowing that your kid's going to be hurt.
Yeah.
Even though I think they are resilient and they will move on and be totally fine, he's
Yeah.
going to be devastated.
Oh, yeah.
He's going to be just absolutely devastated at first.
And I will write with him. If
Yeah.
it happens, like my heart can't handle it, but also we'll get through it. It's going to be fine. It will be okay. And I felt really good and like unsure at the same time. It's weird.
I don't know about you. And I'm sorry, I'm not like not talking to you, Heidi. I just feel like Roman's in a different place developmentally than Xander and CJ.
Yeah.
Where Roman's probably not going to have much of a concern, right? But Xander and CJ are a little bit more similar developmentally, I feel like. And I just think it's been a roller coaster of emotions for me personally.
Yeah.
I go from being like really frustrated and to being like sad to being like, oh, whatever. It'll be what it'll be. And then I'm like, this is just ridiculous. I'm actually doing great right now. And it was more like 2 weeks ago that I was not in a great place about it.
When things are sprung on you and it feels like out of left field, it takes a different route. Like your brain goes crazy, your body, it's a lot of craziness. And I think this time I was just kind of like, it is what it is and it's going to be okay. And I'm kind of low-key happy that you were a little bit more freaked because I could be there for you and not think about how actually freaked I am on the inside too.
Yeah.
So thank you for that.
Sorry for being freaked out, but thank you
No,
for
but
talking it through with me.
In all reality, it's bittersweet.
Yes.
That's what it is.
I
And
don't like it.
I
Any
know.
of it.
I'm with you too. I don't. It's a lot, and there's a lot of pressure on the coaches. There's a lot of pressure on the parents, and there's a lot of pressure on the boys. And no offense to our club. We do like the club. The club is great. There's a lot of changes going on within the club, but also the club was not very like, this is what you have to do, coaches, and do that. It has been a very big, it's up to you, then it's up to the parents, and then it's up to the player, and it just feels so messy.
Yeah.
There was not a definitive, like, here is exactly what you do.
I mean, let's be real. The club has never been the best at being organized.
Okay, fair point.
It's fair.
So honestly, I'm not surprised. I mean, there's a lot of pieces that go into it, and I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I even know how any of it works. But even starting with rec, it was never organized.
Yeah.
And it's just another piece of it that we have to deal with. And our boys have to deal with. And then again, there's the political side of it and just all the yucky stuff in between. And it's just like, I just want my son to play soccer. I just want him to go out there and have fun. Like, I don't like that there's all this in between stuff. Like, I understand people have to try out, there's this and that, but I just feel like right now it just feels, as Sabrina has said many times, yucky.
Yeah.
And maybe even a little bit of non-transparency
Yes.
through a lot of it. And
it's going to be fine. And then lo and behold, it's
not
actually
gonna be
not
fine.
going to be fine.
Yeah.
It's going to be a huge issue. And like, don't downplay it. Just say it what it is.
Yeah.
And I think it's hard, just as trying to be transparent myself, I think it's hard to have transparency when the people above you are not having transparency and the people above them are not having, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And U.S. Soccer kind of left it as each club can kind of do what they want a little bit, but they're recommending this. So it's like, if there was a definitive line that couldn't be crossed at the very top level where the changes were made, there would be nothing to question right now.
Yeah, I feel like U.S.
That's
soccer was really wishy-washy.
Oh,
So
gosh, yeah. And
that
so
doesn't help.
I'm not blaming the coaches. I'm not blaming the board. I'm not blaming anything really, except, sorry to say it, but U.S. Soccer come out with just like, hey, this is what it has to be. And then there will be no questions asked.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, there's more guidance out there now. And I mean, I honestly don't know what conversations are being had within the club as far as like with the coaches. It's a big change. And you almost need to like kind of over communicate that sort of stuff, right? Yeah. They're going to end up with a lot of unhappy parents.
Well, again, it's like they almost waited till the last minute to try to figure it all out. Like, I feel like we've been talking about it for so long, but then like at the last minute, now it's just like happening and there's no communication.
Yeah.
And the disorganization of it all. I don't know. I just feel like it could have been done in a better manner.
Almost like a little guideline.
Yeah.
It's like what to do,
let's
how to
start
do it.
here.
Yeah.
And then we can go here.
It sounds like it's just going to have to be messy and chaotic before it can like align again.
Yeah.
And I hope that there's alignment. I hope that there is organization, and I hope that the coaches and the board and everyone can work together for the benefit of the boys and girls playing soccer.
Hopefully this is the only real messy year, with the change. I mean, again, we know how that goes, but I mean with how messy it is. Because the change is just happening. So hopefully by next year, they'll have a little bit more of a handle of how things will go. And our players will already be in it, right?
Do you think,
going backwards.
Do you think, though, that they're going to make the kids always try out for age peer? Because in the past, if you were playing up, they would make you try out for your age peer group, and you could try out for the higher team.
Yeah. I don't know.
I'm
just wondering, like, because I would kind of, well, but also that would be a mess for them to do it again. We'd be basically doing this all over again next year.
I don't know. I think there needs to be some clearer guidelines.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess we're going to wait and see what happens next year. But I do agree. I hope next year it's a little bit, the growing pains of this year with the age change are settled out. Maybe it's a little easier.
Yeah.
Maybe not. Maybe not. At least you won't have big shifts with whole teams like we have in our particular age group where one's dropping down because of the age change.
And that's kind of what I was meaning by that.
Yes. I knew that. That's what you were talking about.
Yeah.
I will say, we were talking about kind of stress levels and like, I don't know, the roller coaster of emotions. But also like the kids being resilient, right? I do think Xander's been a whole lot less stressed about it than I have. He's not really that stressed about it. I mean, he's not stressed about, I have tryouts and I have to perform. I don't think he's worried about that much.
Yeah. Not feeling
if
like
we
that.
stop and talk about it, I'm sure he will express his concerns and he will share those. But he's not like sitting around thinking, oh my gosh, what's going to happen with the age change? What's going to happen with my team? And maybe that's a little bit of naivety because he's young, right? And he's not really thinking ahead. But at least it's not consuming him and it's not stressing him out.
But we do know that it is on some of the boys' minds.
Yes.
because we interviewed a few of them and they had some opinions for us.
Should we listen to them
Yeah, I like that.
and talk about it?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. All right. So first up, we have Nico. He's one of our biggest fans.
Go, Nico.
Let's go. All right. Here, I'm going to play it for you.
Hey, Nico. Hey. So we want to interview you about tryouts. Are you cool with that?
Yeah.
Cool. So first question is, what was the most stressful part of tryouts?
Probably like the mentality. Like I'm super anxious about like not making it.
So obviously, Nico's feeling a little anxious about tryouts.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. What was your first reaction when you heard about the age change?
I was like a little nervous because there were some people that were better than me in my position.
Okay. Do you think adults realize how emotional the team changes could be for you guys?
Not really.
No. Let's see. What do you wish coaches noticed more about during tryouts?
I wish they noticed like the mentality.
More than skill, you think?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Oh, I loved hearing their thoughts on how tryouts went. Some of their, as we keep going and listening, some of their thoughts are so mature for their age.
I like how he focused on the mentality and that he was concerned not only it's about his own mentality going into tryouts, but also just that other coaches see how they are feeling, right?
Yeah. I loved hearing that because honestly, I don't know if I would have picked that response if I thought about it beforehand. But I loved hearing him say that.
Yeah.
I thought that was cool.
Very mature.
Very
All right. Next up is CJ. Let's hear what he had to say.
How you doing?
I'm doing good.
Do you mind if I interview you for tryout questions?
Yeah.
You mind? You mind?
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. What was the most stressful part about tryouts?
Maybe like, actually maybe nothing because there's nothing to worry about.
Okay.
guess.
You're not worried at all?
No.
Good. What was your first reaction to the age change?
I kind of hated it
How come?
because I'm pretty sure that everyone moves down or a couple people because of one change in one person and everyone else.
And if that happened, what would you miss most about your current team?
Being friends, I guess.
Yeah,
Because
you think your
I wouldn't,
friendships would
like-
change.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I would maybe talk less to them because they'll be with other people.
Okay. Well, thank you for answering some questions for us.
Uh-huh.
First of all, I love that he said that he minded that we interview him. You asked him and he's like, yeah, I mind. And I also love that he's not worried at all.
No.
He is a very confident little boy,
Yes, he is.
or I should say young man with his stash.
How does it make you feel hearing that, Sabrina?
I love his responses because that's just who he is. He's very just go with the flow, happy-go-lucky, and I appreciate that. It's very fresh and sweet. But then hearing that he'll miss his friends, of course, I teared up and wanted to cry. But it'll be okay. I know it will. I know it'll be fine. But I loved his answers.
All right, next up we have Zion, and she plays on the girls' 2015 team, I believe.
And she is Zach's little sister, and Zach is on the 2013 red team currently.
Yes. And also daughter to Janelle, the bread queen.
Broke bread. Shout out.
Hi, Zion.
Hi.
So what team do you normally play for?
Misfits 2015.
Okay, awesome. And so we're here at tryouts this week. And what is the most stressful part of tryouts for you?
Probably trying to blend with all the new girls that we haven't met yet.
Okay. What do you wish coaches noticed more during tryouts?
Attitude, probably more than skill, because a lot of coaches just look for like skill, but they can have like a really bad attitude or be mean to like the other players.
I love that. That's very mature of you. And last question. Do tryouts make you excited or nervous?
Kind of a little bit of both. They make me excited to like see that we get more players and like more chances to with like people to play with. But also nervous because I want to be able to like be friends with everyone on the team and not be like almost like enemies and like not really like blend with them.
Awesome.
I absolutely love her responses. I feel like they're so mature for her age, which I've always felt like Zion was mature for her age, and she's just very level-headed, logical thinker. And I just appreciate that about her.
That's the first thing I could think of is just mature. I think once we listen on, you'll hear a lot of our players are wanting our coaches to see their attitude more than skill, because it plays a big part of how your team meshes together. So I love that the kids are noticing that.
Yeah, I liked how she focused on also just how the team would work together. She said she was worried. That was what she was most nervous about for tryouts, was just connecting and meshing with new players in the tryout, which is something that I don't think, someone her age might normally pick out. But that's really insightful of her.
Yeah, very.
Yeah. All right, so next up we have Roman, Heidi's boy.
Hi, Roman.
What's up?
I have a couple questions for you today.
Okay.
So what was your first reaction to the age change?
I thought it sucked
Why?
because, what's the point in age change when everyone could just I feel like it should just be when your year is. That's the year you should be trying out for.
Yeah. And how do you feel about possibly switching teams?
So I feel like it's just dumb, and I guess it's whatever if I have to, but it's fine. Because I know some people on 2014s, but I'd rather be on the 2013s with all my friends.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And one more question. What do you think could help make the transition easier?
I guess hanging out with them more.
Like getting to know your new teammates, you mean?
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying? Thank you.
It sucked.
First of all, can I say he sounds like a man?
I know. What the
His
heck?
voice. I appreciate what Roman said, because I feel like he's saying what most people want to say about the age change.
What, that it sucks?
Like,
That too.
I mean,
Yeah.
he didn't care who heard that. It was his true feelings, and I love that, because I think sometimes we sugarcoat things,
Right?
Because we don't want to offend someone, or we want to just go with the flow, or whatever. But I just appreciate it, because I need people like that in my life.
Yeah.
That will just say it as it is.
Yeah. Yeah, and I also like that he pointed out just getting to know the other players, spending some time with them is a good way to help with that transition.
Yeah, kind of like what I said earlier is I know he doesn't want to move, but I know that if
He'd be okay.
something were to happen, he'd
be
be
fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not me though.
Like whatever. I think that's what he said, right?
Like whatever.
All right, who do we have next? Next we have Xander, my little man.
Hey Xander, how you doing today?
Good.
Good. Do you mind if we ask you a couple questions for our podcast?
Yeah, sure.
So you're doing tryouts right now. What has been the most stressful part about it?
Trying to make sure that I do good so that I can make the team.
Okay. And so there's been an age change this year with the teams. How do you feel about that?
I think it's kind of dumb because I don't really want to try out for the 2014 team. But the cutoff is August, and it doesn't make sense because the cutoff for everything else has been September. Cutoff for school or for other things.
Yeah. Okay, that's valid. So what do you think the hardest part about starting a new team would be?
Getting used to the new, getting used to everything and trying to make friends.
Okay. And last question, what do you wish coaches notice more during tryouts?
I wish they would, notice how much effort somebody puts in versus just how much they perform.
Good answer. I like that. All right. Well, thank you for answering some questions today.
I love that.
Yeah.
His responses were so good. And mind you, U.S. Soccer did say September 1st the first time.
Yes.
And then they changed it to August 1st, which September 1st made it to where our boys, our 3 boys for sure, would have been able to make the cut.
Well, yeah.
I mean, from the age perspective, not
Right.
saying that they would automatically be on the team, but they would have made the cut. And then they bumped it to August 1st. So
True.
he is not wrong.
He is not wrong.
I loved how he said he wishes they would see the effort
Yes. After.
more than just skill. Just kind of like,
Yeah.
wow, it's
I
like,
it's so like mature the way he said it. He
know.
wishes they would see the effort over the performance, basically.
yeah.
Smarty pants.
Yeah. Good point. All right, next I think we have Maverick.
Hey, Maverick, how you doing today?
Pretty good. How about you guys?
Good, thank you. Do you mind if we ask you a couple questions for our
course.
podcast?
Yeah, of course.
Thank you. So we're doing tryouts this week. What do you think's been the most stressful part about tryouts?
For all of us, just the fact that like there's so many people. Like usually we only have about like 18, and there's just like 60 people here. It's like overwhelming.
There
almost.
has been a lot of people. So what helps you feel confident at tryouts?
Probably just like seeing other people who are good and just play through.
Like matching their energy,
Yeah.
kind of. Awesome. Let's see. So there's been an age change, right? What was your first reaction to the age change?
I honestly didn't really think about it that much because my mom said I'm like in the same area where I
You're
am.
good.
So
Yeah, because it didn't personally
yeah, it
affect
didn't
you.
affect anybody.
So if your team changed, what would you miss most about your current team?
Probably some of our players. Like there's a lot of players on our team right now that I really like. It'll be sad to see them go.
Yeah. Do you think adults realize how emotional the team changes can be for the players?
Not really.
No. You think they're just like whatever about
Yeah.
it? Okay. Well, thank you so much for answering
Yeah, of
questions
course.
today. I appreciate
Thank you,
it.
guys.
Yeah.
Yep.
Can we tell he's a coach's kid or what?
I love his confidence. So he's like, "Oh yeah, cool, totally.
Yeah.
You can record me. Just play through."
Just through.
He's always, I appreciate Maverick so much, whether he's just coming over to a hang or at practice or what, he's always smiling. And he's just,
He's
the
so polite,
confidence-
too.
polite confidence, and he's just so sweet.
Yeah, and I think he also pointed out something that I'm not sure the other kids necessarily specifically pointed out, which is that it was overwhelming with that many kids there.
Yeah.
So
I wouldn't have even thought of that, honestly. But that makes a lot of sense. There was
I would be overwhelmed.
There
so
was
many kids.
So many kids.
Yeah. Whew. All right. Next up is Patty.
Hi, Patty.
Hi,
Do you mind if we ask you a couple questions for our podcast today?
I don't mind.
Okay, thank you. So we're doing tryouts today or this week. What has been the most stressful part about it?
I mean, I haven't really been stressed out that much, but I mean, it's also always stressful, like that you don't want to play bad in the tryouts and stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah.
And so what helps you feel confident at tryouts then?
I don't know.
Do you do a lot of training during the year?
I mean, yeah, I do.
Yeah.
That definitely helps. So.
Yeah. Okay. And so, you know, there's been this whole age change. I know that hasn't affected you for your personal team, for you, but how do you feel about it in general?
I mean, it didn't really change anything for me,
Yeah.
so I don't really know how it would feel to have the age
Yeah.
change thing for me. But
Yeah. So, like, if your team changed,
like
if you didn't
we all
have the
split up
same,
and
yeah,
stuff.
how would you
I mean,
feel?
yeah, that'd be pretty sad.
Yeah.
To, like, have to start all over.
Right. And last question, what do you wish coaches noticed more during tryouts?
Like decision making, like when they pass the ball and when they dribble the ball and stuff.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you for answering some questions today.
No problem.
What was it that he said?
So he said decision making. Can I just say like how
Gosh, yeah.
how much that says about like his whole soccer IQ,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And of course he's not worried. He's so humble.
Yeah.
Patty's
is.
such an exceptional player.
Yeah.
I feel like his voice is changing too.
Oh, I know.
I loved hearing the confidence, but yeah, like you said, humble. He is such a humble friend, humble soccer player. Like he is just a well-rounded young man. And I loved hearing that. He's like, well, I would be sad, you know, and a little bit of emotion in there
Yeah.
if it had affected him. But I have to notice too. He said it would change things. You have to get used to a new team or something. But in all reality, everyone's going to be getting used to new players.
Yeah.
So maybe thinking about it, he's not thinking at that level.
Yeah,
You know what I
of
mean?
course.
But I loved hearing his response.
Yeah, I absolutely adore Patty.
Yeah.
Like Monica said, his soccer IQ is crazy. And I love all of our boys really look up to him, I feel like.
I love that,
and,
Yes, absolutely.
He has a lot to teach our boys. So.
Yeah. He's a good friend too.
Yeah. Well, ladies, it's been a great night again. I enjoyed our conversation.
I enjoyed listening to the boys and getting their input. We're going to have to get them on this podcast soon.
And Zion.
And
Oh, yes, and Zion. I'm sorry, Zion, if you're listening. We love you.
So no matter what side of the conversation we're on, right, the one thing that is true is that our kids are not just a roster spot, a birth year, or some tryout number. We just want them to love the game and want them to feel our love and support while they grow through it.
Amen.
I totally agree. And you know what, ladies, no matter what happens, we are going to come out the other side of this. These boys are hopefully going to be on teams that are well suited to them.
Yeah.
And no matter what, we're keeping this podcast going, right?
Absolutely. Well, we'll be back again next Tuesday, but until then, we'll
See you on the sidelines.